Just a short drive from Seattle will bring you to what I consider one of the most underrated national parks in the United States, which is Olympic National Park. This was my fiance Emily and I's first time visiting the Pacific Northwest. This was our first stop of the trip, and this was also our first chance to get out of the car and walk down to the Pacific Ocean. This was also actually Emily's first time seeing the Pacific Ocean. We visited in October, so it was obviously way too cold to go into the ocean, so we continued on our way up the coast. It was a great drive with a ton of pull-offs, but we didn't have a ton of time, and we still wanted to make sure we saw our main destination of the day, so we didn't stop too many more times. However, our first main destination of the trip was about only a half hour from that beach we were just at. And that destination was the famous Ruby Beach. We got here midday around 1 o'clock, and this place was very crowded at this point. We were here in what is technically considered the off-season, so if you're coming during peak tourism months, make sure you plan accordingly. We spent a little bit more time walking around on the driftwood and checking out the sea stacks. The sea stacks, if you didn't know, are these big rock formations that stick out along the coast of the ocean. They're very common in the Pacific Northwest, and this is just one of the beaches that has them in Olympic National Park. After about an hour and a half, we wrapped up our time at Ruby Beach and headed up north. Our next destination was the Hoh Rainforest, and it was crucial that we got here today. The reason for that was when we visited in October, the government was threatening a national park shutdown since they couldn't decide on what budget they were going to pass for the next year. And the Hoh Rainforest was one of the few spots in Olympic that you actually had to go through an entrance station. We were lucky that the government was able to pass their budget and we were able to get back in the next day. We walked on the main trail through the Hoh Rainforest. Again, since we were here at midday, it was pretty crowded, so we decided to come back the next morning. About a 30-minute drive north, we reached our final destination of the day, and that was Forks, Washington. After grabbing some dinner, we decided to head out to the ocean. We were going to visit the Rialto Beach this time. The road on the way to the Rialto Beach is actually where the photo of Bigfoot was taken, and this is very evident through the shops in Forks. Tonight we saw our first Pacific Coast sunset, and it definitely lived up to all of the hype. While we were at Rialto Beach, I was able to take this photo of the sunset, and it's one of my favorites of the trip. After sunset, we headed back to Forks and got ready for the next day.